What's going on, everybody? This your man Lucky. I'm back with another one, man. Y'all know how I do. Listen, fellas, this one is for y'all. I need y'all to pay close attention to this, okay? I need you to pay very, very close attention to this, okay? Pay attention to what I'm saying. Do you understand the words that are coming out of my mouth? Listen, guys. I know I'm always talking about relationships and things of that nature, right? But this right here, I'm going to talk about. It doesn't have anything necessarily, like, I guess, directly to do with your relationship, but indirectly it does, okay? It has everything to do with you, okay? It has everything to do with you as a man, okay? Man, I think this thing gonna come out sideways, a little crooked. So if it is, I apologize. Let's see if I can get it right. See if that's a little better. I don't know. But listen, guys. One thing that you have to always do in life, period, you always have to remain in your masculine energy, okay? You always have to remain in your masculine energy. I don't know any other way to say it. Right? Put yourself first, guys. I'm not saying to be selfish. I'm not really saying to be selfish, but I'm saying you have to always put yourself first. Don't take no crap from nobody. Period. Now, I'm not saying jump out here every day and get into a fight with guys because, you know what I'm saying, somebody cut you in line, or, you know, somebody said something under their breath or whatever. Now you out here fighting all day, every day because you ain't got. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about, you know, just in everyday life, whether it's your job, whether it's with your family, you know, with your spouse, whatever the case may be. Don't take no junk from nobody. That's not even the word that I want to use, but I'm trying to, you know, be correct. Don't take nothing from nobody, okay? You remain in your masculine energy, and you don't take nothing from nobody, period, point blank, okay? You do not allow any disrespect, period. You set boundaries on what people can and can't do, and when somebody crosses one of those boundaries, you got to let them know. You have to let it be known, hey, listen, man, you crossed that boundary. Nah, we're not doing this right here. You got to take a stand for yourself. Don't be a people pleaser. Don't be a pushover at all. I know you hear the term or the saying, nice guys finish last. See, nice guys are people pleasers. They try to please people. They try to make everybody happy. And so what happens is, without them even realizing it, they get walked on. They get walked on, they get walked over, they get, you know what I'm saying, disrespected and things of that nature without them really realizing. And you don't want that to be you, guys. Don't let that be you. Remain in your masculine energy. Stand up for yourself. Do not allow any disrespect or anything like that. If somebody disrespects you, you got to let them know. You got to let them know. No, this is not what we're doing over here. Okay? Listen to me, guys. I'm telling you. This is serious. Do not allow anybody to disrespect you, guys. You have to always remain masculine. All the time. All the time. And I'm going to tell you why this is important, not only in life, but y'all know I'm going to come to the relationship. This is very, very important. Because nice guys are looked at as weak, right? You don't stand up for yourself. You're a people pleaser. You try to make everybody happy. And what happens in you doing this, you're labeled as a nice guy, but everybody knows nice guys finish last. And the reason why nice guys finish last is typically because nice guys don't stand up for themselves. Nice guys accept, you know, disrespect and things of that nature. And people just, you know what I'm saying? They just don't take nice guys serious. So now, I'm gonna bring that over into your relationship, right? When you're in a relationship, You have to stand up for yourself. The things you like, the things you don't like, the things you want, the things you don't want. You have to remain masculine. Period. And again, the way you do that is simply don't allow any disrespect. When you make a decision, you stick with that decision. You know, you don't be indecisive and things like that. And I'm gonna do a video with all of the, you know, the masculine, the traits of a man who is masculine. Okay, I'm gonna do a video with the traits of a masculine man. You know, how a masculine man conducts himself. But one of the important things that you have to understand about a man being masculine, especially in a relationship, is that women recognize and are attracted to masculine men. That's just what it is, okay? That's why you always have to remain in your masculine energy, right? So check this out. This is typically what happens, right? This is the lifespan of a relationship, right? So you're out here dating a couple women, and I mean, you pretty much in your masculine frame. You stand up for what you stand up for. You don't take no junk. It just is what it is. It's easy to do that when you're not in a relationship. When you're single and it's just you, okay, we dating for a little while. I don't accept that right there. And then she does it again. All right, I'm gonna have to leave you alone. Why? Because you got a rotation, right? Guys, typically when you out there, you single and you dating, you know, you probably at least dating two people, at least more than one, you know. So you kind of you might have a rotation, right? You're dating two women. Hey, one of them act up. Okay, you got one, you know what I'm saying, on the side. You just, okay, this one behaving in a way that you don't like. Okay, so now you just go over to this one, and you know, boom. So you have options when you out here and you single. So you're gonna stand up for yourself. You're really not gonna accept any disrespect, right? So it's easy to be in your masculine frame when you are single, when you are not in a relationship. It is easy to be in your masculine frame. Now, so what happens, right? You get into a relationship, right? You get into a committed relationship, right? So what happens? Typically in a committed relationship, right? You are monogamous, right? So you're with that one woman. Right. Okay, so now what happens to your masculinity when you're with one woman and you only have one source of enjoyment? I'll put it like that. You have one source of enjoyment, right? What happens is now your masculine frame, your masculine energy begins to shift a little bit. Why? Because you're in a committed relationship. That's the only woman that you're seeing. There are no other options. So when something happens that you don't like, and you know you should be like, I'm not putting up with that. I'm gone. We can't do this anymore. What happens is you don't have any other options at that point. You know what I mean? It's not like you were single and you had like a rotation. You had at least had one other woman that you could give a call and say, hey, what's up? What's going on? You know what I'm saying? Whatever. You don't even have that anymore. You gave that up for that committed relationship, right? So now your mindset is like, oh man, hold up. If I let this go, where's my enjoyment going to come from, right? So what happens is you lose a little bit of that masculine energy because you're accepting things that you typically would not accept if you knew you could just pick up the phone and call somebody else to get whatever it is that you were looking for, right? So you lose a little bit of that masculine energy. So now, right, we take it a step further. Let's take it a step further, fellas. Right now, you take that committed relationship, right, and now you get married. You take it a step further, and you get married, right? So now it gets even worse, because not only have you cut out all other options, now it comes down to other things, such as you and your wife, y'all bought a house together. Basically you have a lot more to lose right? When you're married, right? So, being that you have a whole lot more to lose married than you do just in a committed relationship, you know, because now you got to go through a divorce if it doesn't work out or whatever, things like that. It's harder for you to walk away because, again, like I said, you got to go through paperwork and you know, all of that. So what happens? You begin to lose a little bit more of that masculine energy, right? And I'm not saying that this necessarily happens with all men. I'm just trying to paint a picture of just like what happens to men and, you know what I'm saying, their masculinity as they go through the relationship cycle, you know what I mean? So yeah, as a married man now, you have a whole lot more to lose. So what happens is when your wife now is doing things like maybe, you know, just being disrespectful, and I'm not saying that it's, you know, it's being done on purpose. I'm not saying that. I mean, sometimes women just do things and they just don't know, you know what I'm saying? But it's up to you as a man to say, hey, nah, that's not acceptable. I really think women know, but sometimes they just really don't know. But it's on you to let them know. It's up to you to set that stage, let them know, nah, this is not acceptable. We're not doing this right here. But what happens is a lot of men, because of the fact that they're married, they have a lot more to lose. They only got one source of enjoyment and you know, things of that nature. They fall back a little bit on their masculinity because it's like, okay, you know what? I may let this slide this time because I'm trying to get me a little enjoyment later on or whatever, right? It's because that's your only source. You don't have just it coming from all different directions, right? So that's what happens when it comes to, you know what I'm saying, your masculinity as you go through the relationship, you know, the relationship course, right? Your masculinity typically is highest when you're, you know, when you're single. Then when you're in a committed relationship, you know what I'm saying, it gets a little shaky. And then when you get married, it gets a little more shaky, right? But and that's really due to just, you know, just your mindset or whatever. But I just want to say, man, you always have to hold that masculine frame, regardless. That masculine energy, you have to always have that masculine energy, regardless of if it's just dating, whether it's, you know, a committed relationship, or whether it's marriage. Because watch what happens. So women are attracted to men who are masculine, right? So now, first of all, once you get married, believe it or not, that attraction level goes down a little bit. The attraction that women have, or a wife is gonna have for her husband, it actually goes down a little bit, right? I don't really know why. It just does. But you have to understand this, right? So like I'm gonna go through the cycle, and so the attraction level goes down a little bit, right? But you're in a marriage, your masculinity goes down a little bit, right? Her attraction for you goes down a little bit, right? Now, your wife is doing little things that you know she shouldn't be doing. She knows she shouldn't be doing, but you're not checking it. You're not checking it because your masculine frame is really not where it needs to be, right? And then sometimes you just overlook things because I don't want to get into an argument. I don't want to fuss and fight. A lot of men are under the, you know, a happy wife, happy life thing. So it's like, I'm going to just make her happy. Women don't like that because it's viewed as being weak. Women do not like weak men, period. You can tell that by looking at the type of women that men kind of go after, like the bad boy type, right? They don't really kind of, I mean, sometimes they'll settle for the nice guy. But a marriage typically with that quote unquote nice guy really does not do well because that nice guy does not really stimulate that woman. Women like what they cannot really have, right? They just like that masculine energy. That's what makes them, that's just what makes them tick. They just like that masculine energy. They don't like a guy who's soft. They don't like a guy that's weak. They don't like it. Now, I'm not saying that they won't settle for a guy like that, yeah, women are going to settle for, whatever their best option is at the time. So look, if there's a strong man over here, there's a man who's in his masculine energy over here, and then there's a man who's just, he's a nice guy or whatever, 9 times out of 10, if that woman has the option of, one of those guys, she's gonna go for the guy that has that masculine energy, right? So look, over time, guys, y'all in a marriage, you're not addressing certain things the way they should be addressed. Women pay attention to that, right? Women are paying attention. Women are now viewing you as being weak because you're not standing up to her like you should. It's just funny like that. So now what happens when a woman views you as weak? Now she's less attracted to you. You have to understand how this cycle works, guys. When you're not in your masculine energy, everything else goes downhill. You understand what I'm saying? Women do not like weak men. Period. So anything that you do that makes a woman view you as being weak, man, it's just a matter of time. In regards to your relationship, it's just a matter of time, guys. It's just a matter of time. So you always have to remain in your masculine energy. Women will do something like say something disrespectful to you, right? This is how women test you. They'll do something that they know is kind of like disrespectful, because women test you. Women test, and they test because they just want to see where you are in your masculinity. They want to make sure that you are still that strong man. They want to make sure that you stand up for yourself. That's what they want to know. They need a man that's going to stand up for themselves. So they're going to test you to see if you at least stand up to them. If you don't stand up to them, you damn sure ain't standing up to another man out in the street in case something pops off. You understand what I'm saying? So women just want to know that, like, yo, okay, he can protect me. He can make a decision. He can stick by it. He can do this and he can do that. So women are going to test you. Let's just say a woman does, she testing you, man. She just says something like out of the way, man, something disrespectful or whatever the case may be. And you don't check her on it, right? You don't check her on it. She's paying attention. She's paying attention that you did not check her on it, right? Now, number one, she's losing respect for you when you allow that to happen. She's losing respect for you. Number two, you've just lowered the standard. You've just lowered the level of respect that you demand. You've lowered the standard because she came in with less respect. She came in and said something disrespectful and you allowed it. So now your level of respect, when it was at 100, it now dropped down to about a 90. It dropped down to about a 90. So now she knows I can always come to him with at least 10% of disrespect. And from this point forward, every time y'all deal with each other, she's not going to come to you with 100% respect. She's going to come to you with 90% respect because you set the standard, because you allowed 10% of disrespect, right? Man, it sounds complicated, but it's real easy. I'm going to just say it like this, guys. Always remain in your masculine energy. That's it. Women notice. And as soon as you come out of that masculine energy, that's it, man. That's it. They leaving. They are leaving. Especially if you have a woman who is like a high quality woman, right? A woman that is secure in herself. You know what I'm saying? A woman that values herself. Now, see, if you have like